Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the Faculty of Business Administration's 39th Annual Partners Celebration. My name is Aman Gangani. I'm a recent Bachelor of Business Administration's honors graduate and currently work as Supplier Relationship Management Analyst at NL Health Services. I served as co-chair of the 61st Annual Memorial Business Day held a few weeks ago. Last year, I was honored to receive Dr. Robert Crosby Undergraduate Student Citizenship Award, and it is a pleasure to be part of this tradition once again this year.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zarin Healy-White. I'm a graduate student in my second year of the Master of Employment Relations program. I also work here at Memorial as a communications advisor with the Office of the Associate Vice President Academic and Dean of Students.
Before we continue, it's important that we take a moment to acknowledge that the lands on which Memorial University's campuses are situated are in the traditional territories of diverse indigenous groups. And we acknowledge with respect the histories and cultures of the Beothuk, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of this province. As we gather today to recognize the value of working together, I hope we can remember to strive for respectful relationships with all peoples of this province and search for collective healing and true reconciliation in honoring this beautiful land. Tonight, we are here for two reasons. This annual celebration recognizes the importance of strong community and partnerships in developing excellent graduates and conducting the world-class research for which Memorial's business faculty is known. We are also here to honor the accomplishments of some of the best and brightest in business. Throughout the evening, you'll hear about the importance of partnerships and the role that these relationships play in the work that our faculty does every day. Because of these important connections, Memorial's business faculty has been able to position itself as a leader in business and management education, not only in Canada, but around the world. For example, did you know that Memorial's business faculty was the first in Atlantic Canada to earn international accreditation by Association to Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business? AACSB accreditation is a mark of excellence among business schools, one that requires rigorous standards and demonstrating an ongoing commitment to excellence in teaching, research, curriculum development, and learning success. Only about 6% of the business schools around the world are accredited by AACSB. And in fact, Memorial's business faculty has a long history of being the first. It's a list that includes being the first in Canada to launch a cooperative undergraduate business degree, the first MBA program in Canada to require coursework in business ethics, the first in Canada to receive national accreditation for an undergraduate cooperative business degree, the first in Atlantic Canada to launch a Master of Science of Management program, and our recent launch of Fair Lead, the first student-managed social impact fund based at a Canadian university.
It's clear that the Faculty of Business Administration offers programs that are competitive with any business school in the world, and we're proud to be a part of it. Before we get to the awards, we'd like to welcome some special guests. From Memorial University, Earl Ludlow, Chancellor, and Dr. Amy Warren, Deputy Provost and Dean of Graduate Studies. From the Faculty of Business Administration, Dr. Trevor Brown, Dean, David King, Chair of the Faculty's Advisory Board, Dr. Mary Fury, Associate Dean of Undergraduate Programs and Accreditation, Dr. Carlos Bazan, Associate Dean, Graduate Programs and Research, Ms. Susan Gardner, Senior Administrative Officer representing the Gardner family. A special welcome, Mrs. Liz Crosby and Mr. Andrew Crosby of Dr. Robert Crosby. Rob was a graduate of the Commerce class of 1979 and a devoted supporter of this community, and we are pleased to have his family with us. A special welcome to Stephen Gardner, also representing the Gardner family. And of course, we wouldn't be here tonight without our award winners. So a very special welcome to Russell Noseworthy, winner of the Dr. Robert Crosby Undergraduate Student Citizenship Award. Chinindu Wisdom, winner of the Dr. Victor Young Graduate Student Citizenship Award. Shelley King, winner of the Alumni Honor Award. Dan Matthews, winner of the P.J. Gardner 2026 Newfoundland and Labrador Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Finally, we extend a warm welcome to members of our advisory board and the Experiential Learning Program, both of which play an important role in the success of the business faculty, as well as alumni, donors, university and government leaders, faculty members, and more. It's quite incredible to look out at this room and realize that everyone here is a supporter of the Faculty of Business Administration at Memorial University. We're all aware that these are challenging times. However, with your support, the faculty is prepared to face these challenges and continue moving forward to meet its special obligation to Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. Now I'd like to call upon the first speaker, our Dean, Dr. Trevor Brown. Dr. Brown will tell us a little more about the importance of this event, the faculty's ongoing work, and the role of partnerships in moving the province of Newfoundland and Labrador forward. Please welcome Dr. Brown.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you, Zarin and Aman. First of all, a round of applause for the student MCs, the student ambassadors, and all of the staff who make today happen. So as Dean, this is one of my favorite events. It's a celebration of partnership and the remarkable business community that surrounds and supports our faculty. An annual event that's been alluded to already was held about probably 3 weeks ago, and now it was Business Day. If you're not familiar with that event, that is a day where the graduating class sets up and runs an entire event independently, negotiating the contract, getting the speakers, arranging food, all of those things. We've done it for over 60 years. This year, the theme was the power of connections. And it really has stuck with me ever since that event. So as some of you know, I am a proud Newfoundlander. I was born in Labrador. I was at the University of Toronto before I came here. And my work experience wasn't in the province. And early on in my career, I wanted to bring in a guest speaker for an HR course. I didn't know anyone. A faculty member said, reach out to somebody. Well, the person couldn't attend. And back in Toronto, the response would have been, sorry, I can't do that. Not here. Here the response was, I can't make it. Here are 3 other names. Let me introduce you to them. Let me facilitate. And that really hit me and has stayed with me. And to Russell and Aman with Business Day, I really reflected back on that after Business Day. That's not present everywhere. You know, that is not the norm. That is unique about this faculty in this province. So when I'm asked, which I often am, you know, what makes our faculty special or what's different about us, I always come back to it is the relationships, it is the connections, it is the partnerships. We regularly have community leaders in our classrooms, whether that's a per-course instructor, whether that's a guest lecturer, whether that's a case judge. That is just the norm for us. And that's incredibly powerful, those partnerships you've created. You know, it enables us to fulfill our special obligation to the province, and that obligation and connection has enabled us to be a talent pipeline for the province. No matter where I go, whether it's in this room, any other area of the province, when I'm traveling, I regularly run into alumni of the Faculty of Business Administration who will tell me about their time here, their experience, the professors they remember. And I can tell you that's not the norm at every place I've been. And those connections really matter. They make a real difference for our students. You know, they create co-op placements and work integrated learning opportunities that allow our students to graduate with experience and confidence. You know, I am proud to say that our students are in demand. Before, during, and after COVID, we have had 100% co-op placement rate with high quality placements. That's incredible in terms of setting the career of folks early on. It enables the work of our centers, the experiences they provide for students, the ability for research connections between faculty and students. It funds scholarships. In a couple of weeks, we will be giving out over $200,000 in scholarships to students due to partnerships in the community that's around us. Earlier heard about the experiential learning program, the ELP. That's an incredible thing we have that enables us to fund students to do case competitions, things like the Fund and Actus. Incredible opportunities that couldn't be funded under our normal operating budget. And it helps ensure that our programs remain relevant, rigorous, and responsive to our community. So just some of the highlights of our students over the last year. The Fund placed first at the Atlantic Canada round of the 2026 VCA Venture Challenge and the 2026 Stock Pitch Atlantic Competition. Enactus Memorial was second runner-up at the Canadian Tire Corporation Environmental Sustainable Challenge. Our undergraduate team placed second in their division at a very competitive John Molson undergrad case competition. And as you heard earlier, we launched the first social impact fund in a Canadian university that's 100% student managed. And they made an investment in a social enterprise this year. These are all incredible things that are supported and enabled given our connections and our community and our partners. We're going to be launching our 2025 annual report shortly, and that's going to contain so many stories about students, faculty, research, teaching, and all of the success in our connection community. And partners also matters because it helps shape who our graduates become. By engaging with professionals across all sectors of the economy, public sector, private sector, not-for-profit, social enterprise, it really helps students understand not only the impact of business in their education, but how that can also be a force for good. They learn that success isn't just managed by financial outcomes, but it's also about impact on the community. Tonight's award winners are all alum of the faculty, which I'm very proud to say, are excellent examples of not only organizational and business success, but also how our programs make a positive impact on communities and society. As you're going to hear more today, Shelley supports the community through volunteer, leadership, mentorship, and innovation. Dan's contribution to the community is reflected in sustainable local investment, job creation, and ongoing ongoing engagement with education and industry in our province. Russell and Wisdom, both active in their communities, and quite frankly, I'm inspired and awestruck every day with how do you manage to do all the things you're doing and also be students going forward. I look forward to see what's in front of them in their careers. So in this evening, as all of you have the opportunity to connect with students, faculty, staff, and partners, I really hope you see the results of your partnership and the energy in this room, the ambition of our students, and the shared commitment to building a better province. As I look around the room, I see senior leaders of the university, faculty, student, staff, donors, employers, alumni, the list goes on. On behalf of the faculty, and I mean that in terms of the big faculty, staff, students, I thank you for your time, your expertise, your support, your generosity, and your belief in what we do. We couldn't do the work we do without you, and we look forward to continuing this partnership in the years ahead. Thank you. So changing gears, it is my great pleasure to announce the Dean's Outstanding Work Term Employer Award. As I said earlier, co-op employers are an important part of who we are. And those that hire co-op, give them enabling opportunities and work, incredibly important. And I think it was Aman who mentioned earlier, we have a proud co-op tradition of over 50 years, going back to 1973, as the first school in Canada to offer a co-op program in business. So this award recognizes employers who provide undergrad commerce students with outstanding work term experiences. What's really notable to me is that these are student nominated. It is the students that come forward and nominate the recipient. This year's winner regularly hires 3 work term students each semester, and as a member of our ELP program, enabling our students to take part in case competitions, Enactus, the fund, and things like that. This employer, if you're ready for this number, has employed over 560 co-op work term experiences over the years. And I'd like to actually read one of the nominations for this employer. EY does not just hire students for a single work term. It invests in them as future professionals and potential long-term members of the team. EY entrusts students with real responsibilities that contribute directly to audit engagements. This approach ensures that students leave their work terms with practical experience that prepares them for their careers. So please join me in congratulating the winner of the Faculty of Business Administration's Dean's Outstanding Work Term Employer Award, Ernst & Young. And I'd invite Jillian Rice, Manager of Audit, to come forward and accept the award and say a few words.
It's probably best that I'm not allowed to hold that for any extended period of time. No, I'm just going to keep this simple, but I just wanted to express on behalf of EY our thanks to the faculty for the recognition of this award, and most importantly, great thanks to our students for the nomination. We take great joy in participating in the co-op program every year, and I myself have the honor of overseeing that for the EY office. And so we have some great students that have had the opportunity to work with us, and honestly, we've had the pleasure of getting to work with them. And so we look forward to continuing with our role in this great program and getting to shape some of the potential leaders of tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Brown, and congratulations to Ernst & Young. Partners is about community and relationships, both of which are essential to success in business. In 2019, the business faculty decided to recognize the important role that students play as leaders and volunteers in their communities, and established 2 new awards celebrating student citizenship. One of the awards is named after Dr. Robert Crosby, whose generosity and long-standing commitment to our faculty and alumni have made a lasting impact on this community. His support helped shape opportunities for so many, and his presence at this ceremony became a meaningful tradition. While we deeply feel his absence this year, we are honored to welcome members of his family who continue that legacy. I'd now like to invite Dr. Mary Fury to the podium to tell us about this year's winner.
Thank you, Aman. Good evening, everyone. There are many things that we're proud of in the Faculty of Business Administration, but we're most proud of our students. Excuse me. They come from right here in Newfoundland and Labrador and around the world. They bring their ideas and their experiences into our classrooms, and they take away new ideas and bring it back out into the community, hoping to make a change. Excuse me. Our students truly are exceptional. This Student Citizenship Awards recognize students who are engaged and who give back to the communities, to the university, and to the faculty. And tonight, we're pleased to have Mrs. Liz Crosby and Mr. Andrew Crosby join us to help present the Dr. Robert Crosby Undergraduate Student Citizenship Award. Please join me while I tell our audience about this year's winner. So Russell Noseworthy is an undergraduate student in the Bachelor of Commerce Cooperative Program who has demonstrated academic excellence, leadership, and strong commitment to the community throughout his time at Memorial University. He has maintained a 3.92 GPA. earned the Dean's List standing has earned Dean's List standing every year and achieved a pass with distinction on all 3 work terms, cooperative education work terms. Russell is also a member of Memorial's Student Investment Management Team, the Fund, where he serves as operations manager, supporting student learning and real-world investment decision-making. Most recently, Russell was one of 8 students awarded the prestigious Frank H. Sobey Awards for Excellence in Business Studies, and he was selected as a finalist for the Rhodes Scholarship in the Newfoundland and Labrador constituency, one of the most competitive postgraduates awards in the world. He has also received numerous merit-based scholarships, including the Toronto Alumni Scholarship, awarded to only 2 undergraduate students at Memorial University. He was part of the Memorial University team and won the Van Berkom Small Cap Case competition in 2024 and 2025, making Memorial the first university to win the competition in consecutive years. Excuse me. Within the Faculty of Business Administration, Russell is a co-founder of the Commerce Society. He contributes to Faculty Council, the Committee on Undergraduate Studies, and Leadership of Business Day, connecting students, alumni, faculty, and industry. Beyond campus, Russell volunteers as a youth basketball coach and currently serves as an assistant coach at his former home school, Gonzaga. He is also a member of the Big Brothers Big Sisters completed pro bono consulting work for community sports organizations and completed these activities for community sports organizations, applying his skills to the real community needs. For his academic excellence, leadership, community service, and impact, we are proud to present Russell Noseworthy with the Dr. Robert Crosby Undergraduate Student Citizenship Award. I'll call on Mrs. Liz Crosby and Mr. Andrew Crosby to come forward, please. Congratulations.
That was a long list. I'm excited to graduate now and get a bit of sleep. I'll only be a few minutes here, but I'd like to take the time and thank a few people. But first, I want to open with a few of my favorite cliches. You get out of it what you put into it. Your university years are the best years of your life. And a personal favorite, usually said by our engineering friends right across the street. A business degree? Aren't you just doing coloring sheets? 2 of those have rung true for me. The third one? Well, in my entrepreneurship course, we actually did do coloring sheets, so maybe those engineering students are right. You get out of it what you put into it. I believe that one. But I have to be honest with you. The reason I've been able to make anything of my life is because I start from a place of real privilege. Every hour I've spent with the fund, planning business day, coaching basketball, or mentoring with Big Brothers Big Sisters, these hours exist because my parents and my grandparents made it possible. They're here tonight, and I'd like to let them know in front of you all that I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you. The best years of your life. Well, I'll let you know about that one in 40 years or so. But what I can tell you is that the Faculty of Business Administration, whether it be the coursework, the experiential learning, and the community of partners, donors, faculty, and classmates in this room tonight have set me up with the tools and the experiences to believe that the best is truly yet to come. That hope is not a small thing to give to someone, so thank you for giving it to me. This brings me to Dr. Crosby. I never had the chance to meet him, but I've come to understand that what he stood for, that business and the community are not separate things, that a career is also a contribution, and that showing up for the place that raised you is not part of the job, is not extra, it is part of the job. This is the first partners event without him, and I don't take it lightly that my name is attached to his tonight, so I'll try to be worthy of it. So, to finish off where I started, I've been lucky enough to fill in a small part of my coloring sheet here at Memorial, and what I hope for the future is to help others do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fury, Mrs. Crosby, Mr. Crosby, and congratulations, Russell. Dr. Victor Young is another graduate and supporter of the business faculty, and while he loves to participate in this event, he couldn't join us this year. So I'd like to call upon Dr. Carlos Bazan to introduce our next award, the Dr. Victor Young Graduate Student Citizenship Award.
Thank you, Sharon. Good evening, everyone. Shannon Wisdom is a graduate student in the MSc in General Management program who exemplifies academic excellence, ethical leadership, and minimal service to the community. Throughout his graduate study, Chanaju has maintained a perfect 4.0 GPA, while also earning the globally recognized Project Management Professional PMP certification. His academic work includes qualitative research on corporate climate adaptation, strategies in Newfoundland and Labrador, bridging scholarship and real-world regional priorities. Chenedu's academic and professional development is complemented by several competitive internships, including the MITAC Business Strategy, Equiforce, and a graduate internship program with Pelmo International, where he applied management theory to practical organizational challenges. His achievement had been recognized repeatedly through the Memorial University's graduate student success platforms. Beyond academics, Chenedu has made a sustained impact through community leadership. His leadership is something that he takes proud of it. He serves as project management at CMFI NL community, where he supports programs that serve over 300 immigrants each year, helping newcomers integrate, build skills, and feel a sense of belonging. He also contributes through board service with TechNet community and Newfound Hands, supporting governance and community capacity building initiatives. Within Memorial University, Chenedu has played a vital role in strengthening student life and representation. As president of the Society of Black Graduate Students, he has fostered inclusive spaces that promote mentorship, belonging, and advocacy. As a faculty council representative and PMI NL mentor, he continues to amplify student voices and support emerging leaders. For his academic excellence, leadership, and outstanding commitment to service, I'm proud to present Chenedu Wisdom with the Dr. Victor Young Graduate Student Citizenship Award. As you heard before, Dr. Victor Yang couldn't join us this evening, so I'm proud to present this award on behalf of Victor to channel the wisdom. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Carlos. A wonderful evening to every one of us here. I see a lot of familiar faces and new faces. Yeah, we'll just get right to it. I'll be out of here very soon. So this time last year, or sometime last year, I was in this room standing or sitting as a volunteer, or what is called a student ambassador. I was just quietly helping out behind the scenes, cheering for the awardees. And then now to be standing here as this year's recipient of the Dr. Victor Young's Award, it feels surreal to me. And I was speaking to someone just this evening, and the person just acknowledged the fact that I have actually worked hard. Growing up, my mom always said two things. If you get it, it means you've done two things. You're hardworking and you have grace. And I'm fortunate enough to have both of them. When I left Nigeria to Memorial, I'm originally from Nigeria, I came with a simple plan: to work hard, get good grades, and make my family proud. I did do so. I finished with a 4.0, like Dr. Carlos said, but I'm grateful that towards my career, my timeline in Memorial, my focus kind of shifted to how exactly do I succeed to how can I be useful. A lot of, everyone has said community. I've probably counted like up to 10 communities in different people's speech. And it goes to say that each and every one of you is what makes things like this really very successful and impactful to me. This moment is very personal. Unlike my friend here, I don't have that much cliche words, but I do, but I do want to thank my smart and beautiful wife, Tomi Singh. Thank you very much. There were times I wondered if I was doing enough, and she kept believing for both of us. I also they're not here right now, but we do have two lovely kids, in Emmanuel and Emma, 2 years and 8 months. It's a hassle, but yeah. One of the things I can say is their smile keeps reminding me that the world is not all about deadlines and emails. Important, but not all about that. I also want to thank my parents, Mr. and Mrs. Wisdom, my only sister, Favor, my wife's family, the Aladesuis. They've supported and prayed for me even before I experienced my first snow. A couple of people who have invested in me to be standing here today, some of them are seated here. I want to give special thanks to my supervisors in Dr. Emmanuel Haven and Dr. Tom Cooper. These are fantastic people. If you don't know them, please do get to hang out with them after. They took a chance on me when I was just a student. They made room for my questions, for my ideas. I want to give special thanks to some of my well-wishers that are here with me. In engineer, Pastor Jonty, Ayomide, Franklin, Christina, Amy, Chunyan. Trust me, I literally experienced graduate studies. I can call like 50 to 100 people I knew through Memorial. That's what a community is about. To the entire Faculty of Business, to the Center of Social Enterprise, to the Memorial community as a whole, I want to tell you thank you for ensuring that my voice actually mattered and for allowing me to sit in the table. My commitment leaving this room is simple: to keep using whatever I've gotten from Memorial, which is my voice, my education, my time, to make life a little easier for someone else. Thank you for believing in this kind of leadership, and thank you for allowing me to be part of this story. Thank you.
Congratulations, wisdom. The Gardner family name is synonymous with the Faculty of Business Administration. The late Peter Gardner was the first head of School of Business over 50 years ago. Gardner Center, an award-winning professional development hub of the business faculty, is also named in recognition of Peter's contributions to business education in our province. Peter's late wife was Janet Gardner, who paved the way for women in accounting by becoming the first female chartered accountant in the province. She also served on the advisory board of the business faculty and was the first woman to chair Memorial's Board of Regents. In recognition of her many contributions, she was named to the Centennial 100, a list of 100 people who helped shape Memorial. Their children, Susan, Stephen, and Jane, continue to contribute to Memorial in various ways, including by endowing scholarships in their parents' name. Please welcome Stephen Gardner to introduce our next award winner.
Good evening, everyone. Chancellor Ludlow, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here on behalf of my family this evening to present the 2026 P.J. Gardner Newfoundland and Labrador Entrepreneur of the Year Award. This award recognizes individuals who demonstrate innovation, commitment, and leadership while making a meaningful contribution to our city and province. The award is named, as suggested earlier, after my late father, Peter John Gardner, who was indeed the first head of Memorial's Business School. And this year's recipient is Mr. Daniel Matthews. Daniel is a proud Memorial alum, as am I, and my sisters, Susan, who's in attendance here this evening, as well as my sister Jane, who resides in British Columbia. After graduating in 2008 with a Bachelor of Commerce co-op degree and earning a place on the Dean's List, which is quite a distinction and accomplishment, Daniel. But I may add, that's where Daniel, excuse me, and my university career at Memorial diverge. I did not make the Dean's List, but I excelled in other areas of university life at Memorial. The breezeway, Memorial's rugby team, Tom, would attest to that. But seriously, in chatting with Daniel before this evening, he suggested that his time at Memorial had provided him with a lot of the foundation of much of his business thinking, not just in accounting and strategy and traditional forms of the discipline, but also in leadership, in teamwork, and in a strong sense of social responsibility that continues to guide his work today. Daniel became a dealer principal of his family's automotive business in 2016, representing Audi and Volkswagen, carrying forward a legacy first established by his father, the late Bill Matthews. Since taking on that responsibility, Dan has shown great respect for his family legacy while also bringing a clear vision to the future. Under his leadership, the business has undergone significant transformation. Daniel has separated the Audi and the Volkswagen dealerships into two distinct modern facilities, operating a new Volkswagen showroom in St. John's and renovating and modernizing the Audi dealership on Kenmount Road. In 2024, He further expanded the enterprise with the purchase of Bodyworks Collision and Glass, adding a complementary business, excuse me, and strengthening the community and the local economy. Dan is also known for his quiet generosity. He, his family, and the business contribute to the community in many meaningful ways, often behind the scenes, stepping in to help groups and individuals and families when support is most needed. In 2025, Daniel and the Audi Volkswagen Auto Group, by way of a very, very substantial donation, made possible the newly opened Mountain Bike Skills Park in Pippi Park. If none of you have seen that facility, I urge you to visit it. It's quite impressive. Through thoughtful modernization and sustained achievement and genuine community generosity, Dan Matthews represents the very best of entrepreneurship in Newfoundland and Labrador. It is my pleasure to present to Mr. Daniel Matthews the P.J. Gardner Newfoundland and Labrador Entrepreneur of the Year Award.
Thank you. My wife just asked me if I was nervous. I said no, and she patted me on the back. She said, "You're warm." And I didn't say it out loud, but it's because I didn't want them to mention my GPA after hearing the previous two people's GPA. So, thank you for not bringing that up. I also realized the magnitude of tonight when I walked in here, seeing all the people in the room. And it really, really hit me when I walked in and I saw my good friend Will Penn. He had his shirt tucked in. And you know you've made it when you see that happen. Thank you, Steve, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for this incredible award. To be recognized by the Memorial University Faculty of Business is truly an honor. I'd also like to congratulate the other nominees and winners here tonight. It's pretty humbling to be in a room filled with people who care so deeply about businesses and giving back to the community. Memorial plays such an important role in shaping future leaders and entrepreneurs in the province. And I'm very grateful to the faculty, the staff, the selection committee, and also to Dr. Brown, who had so many missed phone calls in one day that I was pretty sure he's just trying to take my degree away from me. A special thank you to the Gardner family, whose dedication to the Faculty of Business, students, the broader community, and the entire province is worth highlighting. The name still rings through its hallways, the constant support and reinvestment. It's a name that still powers many of the businesses and business leaders in the province today, and now it's a name I'm very proud to be associated with. I'm grateful to have my family, my friends, and colleagues here tonight, my mom, Carol, my sisters, Jane and Sarah. My wife planned this. I have friends and family that I didn't realize were coming, so I'm sorry you're not all entered into my speech. But I see my brother-in-law, my nephews, my niece Jenny, who's a third-year commerce student and an active member in the fund. Good for you. Probably has a higher GPA than I do as well. But it's quite an honor. Before I go any further, I would like to recognize the person who made it possible for me to be here, and that is my late dad, Bill Matthews. My parents, Bill and Carol, started building the business 35 years ago. Their success gave me opportunities, including going and attending and graduating from Memorial University, and an opportunity to pursue my passion and my dreams, which at that point was anything with an engine, and that still remains my dreams and passions today. And this is something I have never taken for granted. My dad didn't have the same opportunities. He didn't attend university. It was more of a non-traditional education. But from a young age, he learned how to stand his ground, and he learned how to build a work ethic that most revered. He taught us 2 lessons growing up, literally by constantly repeating these. Nothing comes easy, and it's a long road. Everything we have today exists because of what my parents built, because of their insistence on following a commitment that business be done the right way, you lead with humility, and you treat people fairly. And I'm very proud to say that's exactly how we run our companies today. To the students here tonight, entrepreneurship isn't about starting a business. It's about building a company that matters to you, to your community, and to your coworkers. To our team members across our companies, thank you. It's an honor to be, this honor is a direct representation of how amazing you all are. I'm very lucky to collaborate with such talented and brilliant, passionate, and patient people. At home, our two boys, Jacob and Sammy, already have grand aspirations of becoming Formula One race car drivers. Luckily, they also seem to want to be engineers. So it's only a matter of time before I'm sure they're running down the hallways and the tunnels and the Kiwi 2, or more realistically hitting the breezeway and having a cold one just like their mom and dad did. But I would like to end this by saying a big thank you to Jacob and Sammy, and a big thank you to my wife, Katie, who's right here. Their support is unwavering, and running a business often means a lot of long hours, a lot of weekends, a lot of nights, a whole lot of travel, which leaves Katie with two young boys, 6 and 4, putting them to bed at night and the harder task of getting them out in the morning. So, and I'd also like to credit and thank her for probably giving me the best lesson I've learned yet for my business career, and that is you do have the ability to be different and successful in business simply by being yourself. After saying all this, I do feel extremely ready to be called into Dr. Cooper's Business 7000 course as a guest speaker, which I will say was my favorite course going through commerce. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Stephen, and congratulations, Dan. Our final presentation this evening is for our Alumni Honor Award. I'd like to call upon Dr. Peggy Cody to introduce this year's winner.
So I'd like to thank the Dean for asking me to introduce Shelley King, who I've known for over 25 years because we did our MBA around the same time in the faculty. So I'd like to start by talking a little bit about Shelley King, the MBA student. And I had some help here with full disclosure, wherever Alex is. Alex Fazrick retired from the faculty, actually knew Shelley before I did. So Shelley came to the faculty in 1996 with an undergraduate degree in science, a Master of Science in Medicine, specializing in neuroscience. So you can imagine how different business was. But she completely embraced it. Thankfully, she didn't do accounting as her first course, but she did. She did what we want all students to do, and that's to take advantage of all the opportunities we offer, particularly those involving experiential learning. And Shelley did just that. Alex was coaching our case teams then, and Shelley participated in all of them. Competitions organized by Dalhousie, the University of Ottawa, Concordia University. In addition to all that extracurricular work, she excelled in her courses, and for that she received a Dean's Award at the May 2000 convocation. I think her crowning achievement in the MBA, though, was a research paper she completed under Alex's supervision, and the paper was submitted, at the time the Treasury Management Association of Canada had a competition, they were called TMAC, and they had a paper writing competition, and Shelley's paper was submitted and placed first. And if you look at that paper today, it's a complete blueprint of what she ended up doing in her career post-MBA. The paper was titled Touched by an Angel versus Praying for Venture Capital. And Alex loves a good title, if you know, you know. Shelley's paper was published in TMAC's journal called The Canadian Treasurer. And of course, Alex still had a copy from December of 2000 in pristine condition. It's actually older than Russell. And of course, he had Shelley's paper tabbed, and I think within 24 hours of Shelley being announced as the winner, he had it to me. So Shelley, Alex says, in addition to your award tonight, you get to go home with the TMAC journal. At the time Shelley completed her MBA, there was no graduate training program in entrepreneurship. There was no Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship. There was no Mel Woodward Cup. But thankfully, there was the Genesis Center. And Dave King, who's here tonight, was the CEO of the Genesis Center at the time when Shelley started to get involved with a company called Nova Lipids, which was a biotech startup based on technology developed at Memorial. And as their CEO, she led them to raise $2 million, and she got them from being an invention to pilot-scale commercial testing. From there, she went on to go to Halifax to be Vice President of Research and Development with Genome Atlantic, and then on to the University of Prince Edward Island, where she was CEO of Synapse. She's currently the founder and CEO of Natural Products Canada, where she has developed a member network of over 4,000 companies. She's helped the advancement of 1,800 companies, and more importantly, she has raised $39 million in investment from the Government of Canada. Shelley has been recognized as one of Atlantic Canada's top CEOs. She's been on too many boards and committees relating to innovation to list. I will say that she has been a mentor with the Creative Destruction Lab at the Rotman School of Management at the University of Toronto. It's been written that Shelley King is a sharp risk taker, a relationship broker, and a bridge builder. I think her superpower is actually very simple. She just gets on with it. She was like it as a student, and she's like it now. If there's something to be done, she just figures out what she has to do, and she just does it. And she's only concerned about getting the best outcome. She's never concerned about personal accolades, which I think is a lot like Daniel Matthews. And I would also say Peter and Janet Gardner, Vic Young, and of course, Rob Crosby. So in closing, for over 30 years, Shelley has combined her science and business background to bring Canadian innovations from bright ideas to market-ready products. And through that process, she's become a highly respected leader in the Canadian commercialization space. So please join me in congratulating her as a 2026 alumni, receiving the Alumni Honor Award that the Dean will now present. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Peggy. You should have asked me what I wrote, because people, you're going to hear almost the exact same thing. Peggy, that was a lovely introduction. The only thing I agree with, Peggy said, get stuff done. In my shop, we call it, we just get shit done. So I am very honored to receive this award from the Faculty of Business Administration. It's truly a wonderful full circle moment at this stage of my career. That said, I was very surprised when Dean Brown called me several weeks ago. I was actually pretty unprofessional because I laughed out loud and asked him if he had the right Shelley King. So my academic path was slightly unconventional and certainly not like Chinadu and Russell. I was not a stellar student. As Peggy said, I began my academic journey with a bachelor's in biology in 1986, followed by a master's in medicine in 1990, and completed my MBA as a part-time student in 2000. In my early days at MUN, I think I was like Stephen. I prioritized achieving a near-perfect GPA in the Breezeway Bar, George Street, and everything else social. And my academic GPA, thank you, Stephen, suffered. However, it turns out those were my soft skill development years. And I've learned since that soft skills pay the bills. As I look back, I realized my career development was deeply connected to my time at Memorial. It wasn't just about the quality of the education that I received. It was about the lasting relationships, the guidance I received, and the people who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I started my career in a short-term research role at the Faculty of Medicine. But when I was looking to move to a more permanent role in the pharmaceutical industry, so Russell, we should chat, I kept hearing the same thing: you know science, but not business. Contrary to popular belief, when somebody tells me like it is, I usually listen. And I began a business diploma to bridge the gap. Everything changed when I took Catherine Gallagher's Intro to Marketing course. She pulled me aside and she told me quite frankly that I belonged in the MBA program. Even though my grades were mediocre, and that's being generous, Catherine offered to write a letter on my behalf. I took her up on her offer and I wrote the GMAT 2 weeks later. Thankfully, as Peggy has already told you, but I'm going to tell you it again from my perspective, Alex Fazarak took a chance and put me on the case competition team. I knew how to analyze data and I could identify the business problem. I just didn't know how to solve it. Near the end of my program, Alex voluntold me to submit the paper that Peggy mentioned. There was a small problem. I didn't like finance. But to placate Alex, I wrote the paper on raising private capital to support small business growth, and I finished first. That foreshadowed my future, and as Peggy's already told you, 15 years later, I founded Natural Products Canada with the prime mandate to do angel-like investments in small businesses, and that led to the launch of a $30 million venture capital fund. Despite being halfway through my MBA, I did not have a clear understanding of the career options that combine both science and business. I applied for a role with Seabright, now Genesis, which is a little bit ironic, seeing where this ceremony is held today. I didn't get the job, and then CEO Dave King called me up and offered me another job, and I basically was so peeved that I didn't get the first job. I initially said no, but he said, you know, it's a new company. It's based on research done by Dr. Kevin Keogh, and he convinced me to take the job. So running Nova Lipids for several years was a turning point, letting me develop the skill set that provided the foundational elements for the next 20 years of my career. I am deeply thankful for the foundation memorial provided, and I strive to pay it forward. For the students who are here today, I want to leave you with a few thoughts. First, meaningful careers rarely evolve from well-defined linear career path. Second, real growth happens when you step outside your comfort zone and embrace opportunities that stretch your capabilities. Third, believe in the possibilities for the future and believe in yourself. For my friends and family, thank you for being here today. I'm looking forward to the after party where you can help me polish those soft skills. In closing, I am profoundly grateful to the Faculty of Business Administration for selecting me as the recipient of the 2026 Alumni Honor Award. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cody and Dr. Brown, and congratulations, Shelley. Our evening is drawing to a close, but before we wrap up, I would like to ask that the award winners do come to the front of the room for photographs as soon as we're finished speaking. Once again, thank you for joining us at Partners and helping us to honor the achievements of Russell, Wisdom, Dan, and Shelley, and the impactful work-term placements of EY. Thank you as well for helping us celebrate the important relationships between the university and the business community that contribute to making the Faculty of Business Administration the success that it is today.
On behalf of the business faculty, we are proud to acknowledge the great support from our alumni, donors, and the business community. You provide guidance and expertise on the advisory board. You come into our classrooms and share your insights and experiences with us as students. You support student experiences outside of the classrooms by being members of the experiential learning program. And you donate to the faculty initiatives and help the faculty provide financial support to business students. It's clear that what we do with support of everyone in this room, and that together we can do so much more than we can alone. Thank you again for coming to Partners and joining in our celebration. Good evening, everyone.